Hello once again, Leon Turner of Train Controls here. Today I thought we'd have a quick walk through the process of putting BACnet comms into IQ5s. As always, I've got a couple of IQ5s on my workshop wall here, and I've just created a completely blank set project here. One thing I have done is I've installed the BACnet client for SET. That is in the SET installation directory. You'll find there's one under there called BACnet.msi if you look for it. If you install that, it installs a BACnet comms agent, which you can then use as a BACnet Explorer within SET. First and foremost, though, I'm going to connect to my IQ5s and bring those in, and then we'll connect to the BACnet site and see what that shows us. So I am going to edit the connection details, use the wizard, my preferred option, mainly because it goes away and shows me whatever I can actually connect to. I'm just going to say yes and finish and hit OK. Now we should be able to refresh this, connect using our security details, and see what's on that site. So no great surprise, a couple of IQ5s. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the strategy out of those. So we'll add those both to the transfer list and upload. Shouldn't take very long at all. There we go. Done, and then I'll get those into the strategy library by doing a project update, I think. And you'll see they come up. Both need to be imported because they don't currently exist in my project. So we'll just do that and they will appear on the screen. Okay. If I put these both into, or this particular one into live edit, it will make us adding things a little bit quicker. So what I'm going to do is add a couple of things which will appear as BACnet adjustable bits and pieces. So I'm going to put an internal sensor in one. Actually, no, I won't. I'll just put a knob in one, which will appear as an AV. And I'll put a switch in there, which will appear as a BV. Both of which should be adjustable. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I've only really got IQ5s here, I'm going to read from one IQ5 and write into another one. So if I get the other one up and get that one into config mode as well, and we'll go to we'll add another page and do something very similar. In fact, we'll send the value of an internal sensor to the AV. And I'm going to give that a number by going to the connectives and finding the minute count. There you go, minutes since midnight. Just gives me a number that changes every minute or so. Just to prove it. And we'll put a switch in. Well, actually, we'll put a digital input as well. That one. So those are our BACnet sends. In fact, I'll call it BACnet send. Okay, so that's the scene set. So we're going to send from one to the other using BACnet. Now, the next part is to go away and just pretend they don't exist now, and these are one of them at least. It's just going to be a BACnet target. So what I'm going to do is use set to find those things. So I'm going to turn off live edit, and what I'm going to do is add a new site of type BACnet. Okay, so this will be BACnet. The connection, I'm just going to go with the defaults. I've already set it up in the background, or chosen the defaults actually in the BACnet install, and it sort of translate BACnet network number 1 via a router, and this is our routed connection. But you don't normally have to worry about that. As long as I just keep the defaults, we'll be fine. And there's our BACnet client. Now we should be simply able to refresh and discover things, which it has. It's only found one thing. Now I happen to know why that is. It's because one of the eyes has its BACnet port set to the wrong port. So as you probably may know, IQ5s now come with an isolated port as well as the 3 switched ports. One of them has its BACnet port set to the wrong side for my case. So the one we're finding is 2021. So if I go to 2022 and look up networks and the BACnet application, yep, BACnet IP, sorry, refresh that. Now it says connection 1, and if I go to the network connection object, network connection 2 is my local one, network connection 1 is the isolated port, so it's on the wrong one. So if I just change that, so connection 1, I don't want that to be connection 1, I want it to be connection 2. Read that, we want it to be 2, so just write that quickly, read it back just to make sure. Yep, done. And if I now go down to here and double click, hopefully we see both devices. There we go. It's almost like I tried it before I recorded the video. So now we have 2 devices, and we should be able to go away and find out what's in them using the Object Explorer. And there we go. And we'll do that one as well. So I put in some analog values. I mean, there's other things in here as well. The sensors are all in here. You can see there's hundreds of those. They are not writable from BACnet. They are merely readable. Analog values are the read-write. So if we go and find the one we want, BACnet adjustment 1, that's the one I want. So if I hit properties, go to parameters, I can see it's at 0. So if I set that using set just to test it out, so a nice big number, read it back just to make sure, and you'll see it changes in the background there. So we can write to that with BACnet, so that's a good sign. So the next stage is to actually get the controllers doing that for us. So to that end, I'm going to take the controllers out of Live Edit for a second. And what I'm going to do is, this one is going to be the sender, this one is going to be the receiver. So that is the receiver. So we'll pretend that's a third-party BACnet device. So what I'm going to do is over here, insert a LAN, and it's a dummy LAN. The only stipulation is it cannot exist on the existing system. It just gives us a target, and you'll see why in a little while. So now we have a LAN 99 as a dummy LAN. If I drag my device over, I can drop it onto there and just hit yes. Sorry, I need to put in a dummy outstation address as well. And it just has to be unique on that LAN. So now if I look at that, this is called a non-trend device, an NTD. If I double click that, or go to device details at least, you can see it's filled in a bunch of details, device instance, network number. So that's the BACnet device instance and the BACnet network number, and a few bits of information about us as the manufacturer. So if I hit OK, that's great. Now what I can do is in the sender, bring up a special kind of IC comms, which is a data 2, and change that to a BACnet IC comm. Let me just double check we're going to send this to the right place. So we are sending it to knob1, which is AV1, so that is correct. So the remote address is my dummy address, so LAN 99, address 99, LAN 99. I'm going to leave all of those about the same. I don't care about the BACnet write priority right now. It's going to remote analog output. I wanted to go to analog value 1 and hit OK. That's great. And then connect it up to what's going to send it. Fantastic. Now I'll download the whole file into that controller because it's going to send information about the BACnet device in there. While that's going on, I'll put this other one into live edit and live values mode. Okay. So it should be sending 751 across. And there we go, it's actually coming. So we're sending 753 now. That should update quite soon to 753. So you do need to make sure the priority is correct. Otherwise, you will end up with fighting priorities. There's 16, lowest number wins. My set rights were at a different priority to mine. So that's it essentially, and the process is very similar for the binary information. You would use exactly the same dummy address to do it. Obviously you can read, it's pretty much the same sort of process, data from analog, and we will say it's a BACnet COM, remote address 55 on LAN 99, message interval 1, and we want it to go from, we'll do the same thing, so AV1. Okay, 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 and give that something to write to. And there we go. The values come in. It's a little bit behind this one because this one sends, this one receives, and the set refresh is actually set to about 30 seconds anyway. So the value in the background may be a lot better synchronized than the refresh on our screen here would suggest. So that's it. It's not so complicated. Hopefully that is of some use. Nice talking to you again, and thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.